Hi there, I'm Robert and you're watching The Suburban Preppers. In today's video we're going to talk about why I think cash will still be important after any event that you may well be prepping for. So reading on the online forums, it seems to be the general consensus that cash will only be useful for a few days, maybe a week or so after any sort of event, and then after that it's going to be useless. You may as well throw it in the bin, use it to wipe your backside, use it to start a fire, whatever, you know. And certainly if it was a worldwide catastrophic event, that would probably be the case, you know, because if you're starving, your family's starving, what are you going to do with this? You know, no one's going to trade you food for it when there's nothing they can do with it once they've got it. You know, it doesn't matter how much of this you have, it's useless if there's no demand for it. Just look at the countries around the world. In Zimbabwe, for example, in the early 2000s, with hyperinflation, they were literally taking wheelbarrows full of cash to stores to buy basics like a loaf of bread. One of my friends who I work with, he is Serbian. He was there during the Kosovo crisis when the NATO forces were bombing Serbia and the Serbian government was kind of collapsing and whatnot. Again, his local currency became absolutely worthless. He was telling me he used the notes to wallpaper the bedroom inside his home. You know, it's how worthless it was. You know, it was cheaper to wallpaper with the currency than it was to use the currency to buy wallpaper. You know, it's useless if there's any sort of event. But the key thing with all of those situations were it was the local currency that was useless, and everybody else's currency around the world stayed as it was, you know. So, like I say, while the Serbian currency that he used was worthless, the dollar or the pound was still valued at the same. When Zimbabwe, their currency collapsed, you know, they kind of went to a black market economy using dollars, you know. So again, their currency was worthless, but the dollars, the pounds, whatever, it still held its value. So that's why I think cash can still be important, you know. So here in the UK, obviously we use pounds, but let's say we faced a situation similar to Zimbabwe or Serbia and this became useless, you know. You can't do anything with it. You can't even wipe your backside on it because it's plastic now, you know. If you go to wipe it, it'll just slip and end up all up your arm or whatever. But, you know, if you hold a few different currencies, while the pounds might be useless, you know, we've still got some euros, we've still got some dollars. You know, I personally, we've still got some Turkish lira. You know, these are kind of left over from a vacation that we had. You don't have to have thousands and thousands of pounds or dollars or euros or whatever. You know, just a little bit each week or each month or however often you get your wages. You know, just put a little bit aside. You know, and it doesn't have to be a lot. You know, you could, whatever your currency is. If it was pounds, you know, put £10 away. If it was dollars, put $5 or $10 away, 5 or 10 euros. I don't know what these are worth, you know, but put a little bit away at a time, you know, and then it'll soon mount up. Every payday you put a little bit away. After the end of a year, you know, you're gonna have, if let's say you put £10 a month away, after the end of the year you're gonna have £120. Same for the dollars. If you put $10 away every month, $120, euros, you know, whatnot. You know, it's all going to mount up. If you're slightly better off than that and you're able to put a little bit extra away, you know, certainly stock up on your local currency first of all, you know. But I mean, I've got nowhere near this amount stored, but if it was me storing it, I would go no more than £1,000 or dollars, euros, whatever your local currency is. I wouldn't go any higher than that, and then once I hit that target, I would then start to diversify and hold the different currencies, you know. So let's say, for example, I had £100 spare every month. I would go to the local travel agents where we buy our foreign currency here in the UK, and I would say, can I have £100 of the euros or the dollars or whatever? Just quickly though, what I will say is put them aside. These are the three that I would concentrate on. You know, it's the pounds, the dollars, the euros, I would say, are the three main currencies around the world. You may well be in a different part of the world where that's not the case, but for here in the UK at least, obviously the pound's our currency, the dollar is the world currency, and then obviously the Eurozone is just next door over the water, so they're handy for us, you know. I would stick to these three currencies, and that would be kind of my limit. Like I say, I've only got the Turkish lira. I do have a little bit more than this, but it's only because it was left over from a vacation that we have. But you never know. Someone may well accept Turkish lira in exchange for some food items or a gallon of petrol or whatever else you may be wanting to buy. But the other thing with currency, if you have cash rather than your debit card or whatnot, if there was a localized event, let's say there was a power cut, a flooding, tornado, if you're liable to that, the card machines aren't going to work, whereas you can go into the stores with your cash and say, look, can I buy this? Can I buy that? If it's a local store, if it's not part of a big chain, if it's mom and pop stores, they call them in America, or an independent store here in the UK, you know, you might have run out of pounds. You know, you might be able to go in and say, look, well, I've got these dollars, you know, that it's all I've got left. But if you pay over the odds, you know, if something's worth like £1, for example, if you say, well, look, I'll give you your $5. Your $5 is worth, I don't know, £3, you know, or even probably more likely in the UK, you could offer them the euros, but kind of you'd still have to pay over the odds. You know, you've got your £1 item. Look, I'll give you €5 for that £1 item. They're probably more likely to take it because it's in their interests. You know, that's worth way more than a pound. So let's say you wanted a tin of beans or a packet of spaghetti or some toilet paper or whatever, you know, it's going to be in their interest to accept the other currency at a higher rate, because even if they take that to the bank after the local event, they're going to get more than the £1 back. So as always, that is just my opinion on cash. It's not to say that I'm right or I'm wrong or whatever, you know. We all are individuals. We all make our own choices. We all have to live by the consequences of them, should anything happen. So let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I'll say thank you for watching and bye for now.